Eddie, was it like riding a bike, getting back on campus here, or how much has it changed since you were here to kind of relearn everything?
Right. I mean, no, it's always been a place, you know what I mean? Because my son was born here and I was an early coach, you know, in the process of, you know, but the process of getting back has been awesome. There's a lot of familiar faces. So, you know, just looking forward to, you know, we got this new building that's going up and everything. So, no, we're just looking forward to all of that.
There's a picture of you at one of your stops with a wrestling belt. Is that something that's going to be reintroduced here?
We'll see. You know that wrestling belt, for the most part, we just motivated our guys. You know, and it was whoever was having the best day. You know, they just ended up with the belt, and it was something to motivate them guys to see who was going to have the best day, you know, whether it was in one-on-ones or anything like that. So whoever graded out the best and whoever had the best day from a work hard standpoint, we just gave it out to them.
Coach Braithwaite, you kind of left the defensive coordinator role to come here and be the safeties coach. What made you take that leap of faith and kind of going down a step, but kind of being at a bigger program?
Yeah, I think a combination of things. Relationships, number one. You know, I've had a strong relationship with Coach Vite for a long time now. We GA'd together back in 2005 over at West Virginia. Have stayed friends through the profession for 20 years now without really having worked together. So the opportunity to come work with him. I also had some familiarity with some of the guys, Coach Hicks and I have worked together, Coach Dawkins. And a lot of guys that I've known are tied to coaches on this staff. So from a relationship standpoint and a staff standpoint, that was very appealing to me. And then, yeah, obviously I've been a coordinator mostly at the FCS level. So the opportunity to take a jump and get back into the Power 4 level was something that, you know, I've hoped that opportunity would present itself again. And it just so happened to be with someone that I've known. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about, you know, seeing a new way of doing things. You know, this will be my first go round in this defensive scheme. I've been fortunate through my career to have been around a lot of schemes and pick up a lot of ball and pick and choose. And but as a coordinator, you're largely doing what you do and what you know the most. And so whenever you get an opportunity to do something different and get outside of your comfort zone, I think is always been attractive for me.
What was it about Coach Vite and the time you spent with him that kind of left an impression on you that said this might be someone that I want to work for?
Yeah, I mean, we were GAs together, and so we, you know, kind of went through the fire together a little bit. And you know, he had been a GA before. That was kind of my first go-round as I was just getting into the profession. So I have a lot of respect for the way that he handles himself, and his work ethic was something that jumped out to me right off the bat, and that I kind of tried to mold myself after from a work ethic standpoint. And then, you know, you seem to hit it off with certain people just from a personality standpoint. You know, we saw eye to eye on a lot of things and were able to have real discussions on things. And so it just kind of grew from there. You know, we worked together for 1 year and then have been good friends for 20 years. And that doesn't always happen, you know, as you just work with somebody for a brief season or something like that. So
You're pretty confident you have his ear then, having worked with him all that, because, you know, you were a defensive coordinator, and I don't know how you were.
Yeah, well, you know, I hope that I can bring value, you know, from that standpoint. Obviously, right now I'm a sponge, you know, so I'm learning the way that things are done, and specifically with the scheme that we run and things like that. So I'll try to provide my perspective when given the opportunity, and I hope that over time, you know, that trust level continues to grow, and I'll be able to, you know, add some value that way as well.
For both of you, you guys have a previous relationship with the new system. Like, how important is you guys' relationship? You know, both, you know, corners coach and the safeties coach, to be able to communicate and, you know, input what you want to tell, you know, to those young men.
Right. No, very important. You know what I mean? So I think the biggest thing is, especially as a secondary, but as a staff, you know, being on the same page is very important. And not just being on the same page, I always say being on the same page in the same book. You know, so just making sure we're all on the same page, we're trusting each other. Everybody's opinion is you know, is good, because, you know, at the end of the day, we all want to win. And that's the good thing about, you know, working with Coach before. in the previous spot is everybody have good value that we believe and that we bring to the table that we feel like can help us continue to get better.
I almost don't remember what the NIP looked like in 2013, but how different does it look to you from when you were here last?
What was that? What
Nippert,
The who?
the stadium.
Oh, the stadium. Oh, Nippert. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
No, Nippert. The press box side is obviously bigger. I think that part, they built that part up a little bit. But I just remember Nippert being, packed. The fans being excited, being loud. I'm looking forward to seeing that again. Right. Obviously, we got some time before we do that. But right now I've had a chance to go out there in Nippert with the guys. The guys are working out in Nippert, working hard. So, so just looking forward from that standpoint. But it's pretty much the same, obviously, other than that side going up.
I know you guys have just been working out, not much, no pass or anything like that, of course. But has any of the guys stood out to you, especially in you guys' positions?
Well, one thing I'll say that's really just impressed me about the whole group, not just our position, but I feel like our guys have a high capacity for work, and I feel like they love ball. And I think anytime you have those two things, I think you got a chance to really improve and be good. And so that's just a general overall statement that I've noticed there. I'm excited to get to spring ball, and actually play some football. And I know we've evaluated them to a certain level in workouts and things like that. But and we evaluate everything they do, but we're ready to kind of strap it up and play some ball and see where we are, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think our strength staff do an unbelievable job, of holding all the guys to the standard. Coach Satterfield, Coach Vite, but the guys are working really hard. So that's something that I've been impressed with since I've gotten back.
Sanford has decent football, obviously. Do you see a difference in just the physicality of the guys at this level?
Yeah, definitely do. Obviously at the FCS level, you have some really good football players and guys that can play at this level. As you notice in the transfer portal, there's a lot of FCS guys moving up and having some success. But just as a general whole, the depth, particularly in the trenches, I think is the biggest difference, and from a physicality standpoint to me from that. So there is a difference from that standpoint.
It's a lot of bodies in the secondary. If you guys started bickering over who gets who's got dibs, and that first spring practice, he's going to be in my group, he's going to be in your group. Have you got there yet?
There's been a little bit of
Hold
that
on,
between
man.
myself and Coach Vite, in terms of safeties. Not as much with Coach Hicks and I, but
Yeah.
that'll probably change as we play football. We may start, battling a little more over that.
Any other questions? Keegan?
Coach Hicks, Zaravion Johnson, pretty highly touted freshman coming in. Didn't get to see the field much last year. What's been your impression of him so far through the first couple weeks?
I think the first thing, I think Zay is an unbelievable person, right? Which is awesome. I think he works hard. He's worked really hard over the past month or so that I've been here, and he shows like he has all the talent in the world, right? And right now he's working to put it all together, right? He's working on all the small things that he needs to work on to continue to get better. But I think the biggest thing with him is like he shows up every single day, ready to work, with the mindset. And as a redshirt freshman, I think that he can potentially, be a leader for the entire football team because of how he goes about his day every single day. So he's doing an unbelievable job, and he's obviously going to have to grow up quick, but we'll see, and we're excited about Zay and see what he does, going into the spring.
Any good B. Kelly stories we could use?
No, I don't think I have any of those right now.
Any other questions? Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, no problem.